There is a problem with Pokemon Pocket right now, and it essentially all revolves around basic EX Pokemon. They're way too good in this game. They kind of ruined the regular Pokemon game, the real life one, and if they don't do something about this, they're going to ruin this game too. Essentially all revolves around like the core mechanics of this game makes them way too consistent. Like it is absolutely broken, and I really hope that they recognize this and they fix it, and I have some suggestions of how they can fix it, and I'll tell you at the end of the video, but let me explain why they're so broken. Number one, the one that I don't hear anyone saying or hear anyone talking about, is that the deck building gives such an advantage to basic EX Pokemon because you only need 2. You have 20 cards in your deck, you only need 2. If you want to play a stage 2, like a regular Alakazam or the regular Charizard or Kabutops, you need to put 6 of those cards into your deck. That is over a quarter of your deck just to play one Pokemon, compared to 2 if you want to play Mewtwo EX or Pikachu EX, and it's broken. It's just way too good. The advantage is way too good because you can put other cards in there to make that deck more consistent, and the cards are already so consistent because they have so many advantages in like the gameplay, and that's what we'll get to now. You don't have to evolve them, you don't need any pieces to make them work, you just slap them out and they're good to go. The balance on this game is pretty good. Okay, so everything in this game right now is playable and it's really good. You can win with pretty much anything. The scaling between the basics, the stage 1s, the stage 2s are all very balanced if you're looking at just the numbers on the cards, right? Let's have a look at Starmie and Pikachu EX. Starmie, 90 damage, 2 energy. Same with Pikachu. Starmie has 10 more HP and 1 less retreat cost, so better in that way, and there's no condition for Starmie's damage. It is always 90. But there's 2 ways to rank cards in Pokemon, and this matters more for Pokemon than any other card game. It's just the power level of the card and then the consistency of the card. Consistency matters more in this than any other card game because the best part of Pokemon is the evolution mechanic. However, the evolution mechanic, the more you need to evolve your cards, the more pieces you need, the more inconsistent that card gets. So consistency is a massive part of Pokemon. But this is where the balance does not add up in this game. So when we look at the power level of the cards, you have basics, stage 1s, stage 2s. In this game, and we're talking about consistency, with the least consistent cards being the stage 2s, then the stage 1s, and then basics are not here, they are all the way up here. They just break the ceiling. They are way too consistent, and that makes them way too strong. I'm afraid in like a few sets time that this game's going to be just overrun by basic EX cards, and the best thing about this game is going to be ruined, and that is that you can literally play with anything, you can build a deck with anything, you can be creative with all the cards. And if we look at the real life card game, when a set comes out, you got 6, 7 cards that maybe you can play, and everything else you just gotta throw it out. Like, it's just useless. It's just they're good for nothing. You just gotta throw them out. And if this game gets to that point, it's gonna ruin the game. It's gonna ruin the game. People are gonna stop playing. Okay, but for right now, people might think we already have this problem, but I'm gonna tell you why we don't yet. Pikachu and EX are dominating. They are completely dominating the tournaments, but I don't think it's because those cards are actually broken. It's because this game is not really a competitive game. This is a fun game, and the reason for that is this game has a lot of coin flips right now, because it's like a very basic version of the card game. There's a lot of coin flips, and what happens when you have a lot of coin flips is those decks are not going to do well in tournaments because you're essentially asking your 50-50 coin flips to land heads over and over again, otherwise you're eliminated from the tournament. Okay, so Pikachu and Mewtwo, they don't have coin flips. They're just very consistent in that way, where you got your Charizard, if you flip tails 3 times with your Moltres, and maybe it happens again, you're done, you're eliminated from the tournament, goodbye. It's just, you can only go so far with a deck that has coin flips, and pretty much every single card does, except for like Mewtwo, Pikachu EX, and then Starmie, which has a bad matchup into Pikachu. So Pikachu and Mewtwo are dominating the tournament so much, even though they still are the best cards, and even though they're still kind of broken because they can abuse the fundamentals and like the core gameplay of this game that allows basic EXs to just absolutely dominate. they're not as broken as you think. And it's just because they're doing really well in tournaments, everyone just plays them in like your normal ladder games and stuff, but in your normal PvP games and stuff, but that's fine, because in a world where you don't have to win 10 games in a row and you're just doing a one-off game against a Mewtwo EX or a Pikachu EX, you can beat it with most decks, it's fine. Like they're strong, but you can beat them. Just be good. Really just be good. Like I don't really have any complaints. I kind of love playing Pikachu, I'm gonna be honest. I love playing against Pikachu EX. Yes, I just beat them. Like I don't actually think Pikachu EX is that good in just a 1v1 one-off game matchup. I don't think Pikachu EX is actually that good. Just in a tournament, it's just consistent, and consistent decks win tournaments. Just how it is. So right now I don't think this game's in a bad state. But if we get 2-3 sets down the line, just look at the next set for example. If we get Ho-Oh, Lugia, Entei, Raikou, and Suicune EX, that's 5 basic EX legendaries, and they're all going to be insane. And that is because they're easily searchable. You only need 2 of them in a deck instead of 6 compared to the stage 2s. You can draw 1 from the beginning of the game. They're broken in this game, and there is a fix to this. A lot of people have been suggesting rare candy, and I'm going to tell you why rare candy will not fix this. 1, it hasn't fixed it in the real life card game, and 2, it's not going to fix it here. It might help a little bit, maybe a tiny little bit, but it could also make things worse, because just think for a second. Mewtwo's the best deck, you're giving Gardevoir rare candy. So if you want to make your other decks better, tell me how they're going to be more playable when Mewtwo has a Gardevoir that can be activated with a rare candy. Tell me. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. It's cool. It helps the other cards, but basic EXs, they only need 2 cards in their deck, dude, so they could easily fit a stage 2 in there. With rare candy, they're just going to make those decks even better. I don't think it's going to help very much. So there's 2 ways to attack these cards to kind of bring their success rate and play rate down a little bit. 1 is the power level of the card, but I don't think they're going to do that, because can you really imagine them making Pikachu EX, Mewtwo EX, and the next set Ho-Oh, Lugia, and all those cards so weak that they are just purely carried by their consistency? I don't think that's going to happen. And I don't really think they should do that, because that's just going to feel weird. However, we need to fix their consistency. They're way too consistent, and that is the problem. The problem isn't their power level. The problem is that they're way too consistent. And there's a way I think we can fix this for the future, and you can even fix a card right now in the game, Pokeball. Every single card that adds consistency to a deck needs to exclude basic EX Pokemon. So Pokeball, it says, I think it's like, add a random basic Pokemon from your deck to your hand. Okay, we need to change that, because they can change cards in this game. They can buff and nerf cards. They need to change Pokeball to you can add a basic non-EX card from your deck to your hand. That is what it needs to read, and every single card that comes out in the future that adds consistency to a deck needs to exclude basic EX cards. Okay, because the only way to stop these decks from taking over the game and dominating and completely ruining it, because once we get like 10 basic EX cards, you think that you're like cool ass road deck that you want to experiment with that has like the basic stage 2 card is going to be playable and it's going to be usable. It's not going to be, and it's going to ruin the game. And when there's people like me, and then there's like other people like Mega Mogwai and like all those other YouTubers who want to make a new deck all the time and they want to experiment with all this stuff, it's just going to ruin the game. Okay, the real life card game is absolutely ruined. You can't play pretty much anything except for like, I don't know, 6 cards a set, and it just ruins it. So I really think there is a problem with the future of this game. Right now you can play anything. You can still beat Pikachu, you can still beat Mewtwo, it's all fine right now. Everything is fine, everything is perfect right now. Don't need to change anything. But I still think Pokeball needs to be changed for the future. For the next set they need to update Pokeball, and yeah, because let's just be honest, I know everyone's sick of playing against Mewtwo, I know everyone's sick of playing against Pikachu, I know everyone is, and the only way to stop them is to stop them being so consistent. Because let's be real, how many times have you played a Pikachu deck and they have not got Pikachu? Never. Never. How many times have you played your Alakazam deck and not got Alakazam? Happens all the time, dude. How many times have you played your Kabutops and not gotten your Kabutops? Happens all the damn time. Pikachu EX decks always get their Pikachu because they're easy to get. They can start in the hand. There's guaranteed to be a one basic at least. It could be a Pikachu and then you got Quick Ball that can search it. It's not fair. These cards are too consistent on their own, and then they are being buffed, they're being helped by other cards in the game that make them more consistent, that are built to make the Charmanders more consistent. That Pokeball is meant to find your Charmander, your Bulbasaur. It is not meant to find basic EX cards because it makes them way too good. So that's my rant. That's the problem that I have with this game. Right now I think it's fine. In the future I think I might ruin the game. Like, I really do. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this is going to be a problem for the future of the game, because I really do, and they really got to do something. But yeah, let me know what your suggestions are. Peace, and I'll see you in the next video.